What's a red flag on a used car before you even buy it?
Red flag, if you ask for like maintenance records and they're not keeping track of their vehicle, that's a pretty good red flag. Pulling the dipstick and seeing what the oil condition's like on a car, that's a pretty good red flag. I think if there's a check engine light when you start the car, that's a pretty good red flag. I think if it's saying like in the post, mechanic special, run away. But if you are opening up the hood and you go in and you see unmaintained engine bay, I think is a pretty good sign. This one's pretty okay. There's nothing too alarming behind it, but if I was here and I was seeing like random wires poking out and sticking out, that's a red flag to me. I think that like if we're seeing certain things like the engine cover or air filter box or something along those lines aren't proper, that's a red flag to me. I think that like when you take off these covers, for example, and you look at the air filter, like is it caked in something here? If not, that's a good thing. Little things can show how maintenance is going on the car. You always want to check the coolant, right? And it's always going to say like, hey, don't touch me because I'm crazy effing hot here. Be careful when you do that. Making sure there's coolant in this jar, that's super important. When you go and you're actually like pulling the dipstick and what you want to do is you don't just pull it out and then read it. You pull it out and you wipe it off immediately because that's not going to give you the accuracy that you need. You pull it out, wipe it off, don't put on your clothes because your clothes get ruined right away. That's a shitty day as well. But then you go re-pull it here, and then being it hard to see is not a bad thing, right? And look, I'm just taking my cell phone. I'm just taking my cell phone and I'm making sure there's a little bit of gloss behind it, right? And then even then, hey, kind of hard to see. I'm sure it's even hard to see on there here. That's not a problem. That means the oil is actually clean. And then you go and you actually touch it. You have oil on your finger. If you got oil on your finger and it looks pretty clean here, that's good. That's a good thing here. If it's black, if you pull this out and you see nothing but black there, that's a concern. When was the last time the oil change was done? That typically is a sign of a vehicle that's being under-maintained. If you're going to go and sell your car, why wouldn't you do an oil change on it beforehand here? That's silly to me. Another thing, right, as far as what are red flags before you start the car, that was the original question, is making sure you're checking underneath the vehicle where it's parked. Is there any major spots? Is there anything you got to be concerned about there? How rusty is the vehicle? Corner panels, rotors, brakes, how are those things looking here? But if I'm seeing those things right away on this car, I'm just saying thank you for your time and I'm walking away.